So we are here. We've arrived at sunny Alice Springs. We're here for Fink, so this is sort of like a bucket trip for us. We've been planning this for a couple of years. No, we're not really planning, but we've been saying that we want to get up here and watch this event. So we came via the Great Central Road. Yeah, that was a cool trip. We were sort of thinking, oh, she's going to be a rough road. I can tell you right now, we must have just got it, because that road was in absolutely perfect condition. You know, we could sit on 100, 110 k's an hour safely. You know, I've heard reports of that thing being an absolute goat track, but no, we were just lucky. We cruised through. We spent like 3 days on the Great Central Road, and yeah, what a trip! Absolutely loved it. So we've got 2 words for that track: camels and cars. The amount of cars that are wrecked that you see in the bush there just blew me away. I haven't been down that road. You could pretty much safely say every 100 metres you're going to see a burnt out or a crashed car, or you know, and I'm talking old cars like 70s models. So it was a wicked trip. Good to be here. It's 2,500 k's, so it's quite a drive. Everything went well. So we had my 200, obviously. We had Spider in his Prado. We had Greg in his Fortuner, and we had Rob, who's got a Hilux. I think it's like a I'll get out of the way here. I think it's like a probably 2017 or 2018 Hilux. Yeah, everything went well. We did have one little hiccup. We snapped 3 wheel studs on the back right hand rim of the cruiser. We were just lucky. We stopped at Lassiter's Cave just for a bit of a look and have some lunch. And as we pulled up, Rob at the back of me, he sort of said, "Hey, is your back wheel supposed to be wobbling like that?" And as we all know, no, they're not supposed to wobble. So we stopped and had a look, and sure enough, we had sheared 3 studs. If he hadn't seen that and we just took off again, it would have been bad. That wheel would have come off. And because the road was so good, we were sitting on a pretty good speed. So we were just lucky with that. That could have been so bad, but fortunately, you know, we've had trouble with that before. We've snapped wheel studs before. I do carry spare wheel studs. So 25 minutes, we had the 3 studs out, 3 brand new studs in, wheel back on, and back on the road. So apart from that little hiccup, it was an awesome trip. We averaged 15.8 litres per 100 k's. So working it out, we put in about 365 litres of fuel to get from Perth to Alice Springs, but I think it's pretty good. The car was on about 4.2 tonne, loaded up, had all my stuff in it, all Regan stuff, plus more. We're away for 10 days, so it was loaded. Mate, what a trip. If I can say one thing, do that drive. Everywhere you stopped, there was just something to look at. We had dingoes coming up to say g'day, had camels running down the road. Yeah, it was just a really cool trip. And the fact that everything went well besides the studs, even more of a bonus. We're going to go to the street party tonight. Tomorrow we're going to get supplies, and we're going to head out to the track on Saturday morning. So our plan is to get out there about 30 or 40 k's up the track, look for a high-speed straight, something like that. Watch these mad demons try and win, I suppose, or just make it. It's a pretty grueling race. So yeah, we're hanging, but so far so good. Absolute epic trip. That Great Central Road is just awesome. Never a dull moment. So we're at the Alice Springs Caravan Park, and I'll tell you what, there's some rigs here. We've got Pat Callahan's F-150, we've got a couple of Silverados over there. Looks like the Bushwhacker boys just behind us. Yeah, absolute epic trip. Okay, so it's morning of the race. The first trophy truck has just left. It's going to be coming down there, hopefully at about 200 kilometers an hour. Yeah, we're absolutely pumped. Can't wait for this to get underway. Yeah, we'll see you a bit later on. So, Fink 2024, done. Well, he's still going, but he must be one of the last riders. We're done. We're out of here in the morning. We're going to head off at about 4 o'clock, hit the road, do some miles, and head back to WA. This trip was everything we expected. If you're thinking about doing Fink, get up here. As you can tell, the flies are friendly. They've been friendly since the time we left home. Mate, out in the desert, these sticky little buggers, they seem to love you. To come up here and see these guys riding this track, you get a full appreciation with how hard they're going, mate. This is a pretty tough track. We had a really good spot. We're at the 45 kilometre mark, and yeah, we just had an absolute ball. And we've still got to go home yet. Still got probably 3 days to go home, so our trip's not over yet. But the Fink part of it, Alice Springs, really nice spot, and we'll be back here for sure. We'll start planning this, I reckon, from the time we get home. We're going to take you for a bit of a look around camp and show you these, show you the guys' setups. We've got Spider, who's got a really nice 2019 Prado. We've got Robbie, who's got a 2016 Hilux, and we've got Greg, who's got a really nice, tastefully done up Fortuner, done on I wouldn't say a budget, but he's still trying to work out what he wants, so he's just got a bit of an idea on what he needs now, and then as he goes on, he's going to work out what he wants and adds to it. Robbie's Hilux has got a nice canopy on the back. It's got a nice electronic battery management system in it, and yeah, I don't think he's finished that. He's in the process of building it up. And then Spider's Prado, well, that's just that's pretty much had everything done to it that you can do in regards to touring. So that's a really nice setup. We're going to take you over now, give you a bit of a look around camp. So just before we pack up, I just want to give you guys a quick look at my setup, and I've learned a few things this trip, you know, going to cause me to modify my setup. So far up until now, my setup's been awesome, but on a trip like this, when you're away for multiple days and you know you're quite power hungry, I've realised that okay, I need more solar and I need a bigger battery system. So for this trip, man, these flies, I tell you, these for this trip we've had the Starlink. So the Starlink draws about 4 amps, 5 amps. It's been pretty cold out here, so we've had the electric blankets going. We've had 2 fridges going. One is a fridge, one is a freezer. We've had the drone batteries charging and everything like that. So at night, when we've got nothing charging the system, we're pulling about 17 to 18, sometimes 20 amps out of it. So out of a 200 ampere hour system, that's 10 hours. That's 10 hours of usage. So that's just not enough. So what happens then, if you're depleting that battery overnight, you've got to have some way of charging up the next day. So with 240 watt of solar, it's down south, that's plenty. Up here, it's not enough. What we've noticed is the sun doesn't pass directly over you. It's always on a bit of an angle. It sort of seems to come on a 45. So you're never really getting full voltage out of your panels. So what I've done is I've brought my portable panels. That's an extra 160 watt, and that has helped us out. So that 160 watt with my 240 watt has given us 400 watt of solar, and we can get 18 amps in there with the sun on the angle. Now, if the sun was directly above us like it is down south, we're going to get plenty of solar in. Up here, totally different story. So that's one thing we've learned is, you know, we need to increase our capacity, one, for batteries, but also if you're going to do that, you need to increase your method to charge it. Make sure you can charge it up within that day. The camp setup. So that's our portable solar. We've got my little camping setup there. Love that setup. Works really well. That's Regan's tent. Well, tent. It's like a tent. Regan swag. We had our portable shower hooked up here. Worked really well, except for the hose busted on the handpiece, so we couldn't use that. But next time we go out, we're going to replace that. And that shower worked awesome. Worked good for me and Sharon when we did a bit of a lap of the southwest, and worked perfectly again until we had a blowout of the hose. So you can see here through my red vision, we've got 0.7 amp going in, we've got 10 amp coming out. So because we've got nothing, you know, pretty much nothing coming in, that 10 amps is coming straight out of the batteries. So what we're running now is a Starlink. We're charging GoPros here. We have the fridge running. We don't have the fridge in the back of the car running, the freezer, because we're leaving tomorrow. We've used all the meat out of that, so we've turned it off. But yeah, it's good going somewhere different. Like we always go, stay in WA, go to Exmouth, go down south, that sort of thing. But when you come up here and your power needs change, yeah, you really need to have that up your sleeve, have more power up your sleeve, because yeah, you need it. And it's been cold here. It's been 2 degrees, so you know the electric blankets are pretty much a must out here. But yeah, little things you learn as you're on the road, and we're always learning. But next time we come, we'll be a bit more prepared and yeah, be able to keep up. So what I've had to do yesterday, I had to run the car for probably throughout the day, probably an hour, just to get that voltage up, because we weren't getting it through the sun. But you get that, it's the way it goes. Another thing that I want to say is the Starlink. We were going to get the what do you call it, the cell-fire. We were talking about getting cell-fire before we came. We hired this Starlink system off a guy from Marketplace. It was 150 bucks for 2 weeks. Now we've been using this for a week. I won't ever bother getting cell-fire. So this is awesome. We've had all of us here. There's been 5 of us. We've all been logged onto this Starlink, and it's kept up, no worries at all. Had a couple of times where it's taken longer to connect, but it's never dropped out. It's never done anything. So I think rather than get cell-fire, this Starlink system that we're running is next level. You get satellites, or you get signal anywhere in Australia. You don't have to have it on your roof either. We've just got it up there because there's a few trees around. But if you've got room to put it up on your roof, then you know that's it's just clear and out of the way, and you just improve your signal. But yeah, the cell-fire, it's the thing of the past, I reckon. Now these Starlinks are out, why would you use a cell-fire?